When you sign up to serve your country, they warn you about the obvious things. Distance. Danger. Missed birthdays. Holidays spent staring at a different sky. What they don't warn you about is the moment you realize the biggest battle won't be overseas. It'll be waiting for you back home. Smiling. Polite. And calling itself a community association. I was halfway through my deployment when my phone buzzed in the mess hall. Loud room. Metal trays clanking. Guys laughing like nothing in the world could touch us. The caller ID showed my neighbor's name. A man who never exaggerates. Never panics. Never calls unless it matters. He didn't waste words. Eli, stay calm. But there are strangers living in your house. Everything went silent. Not around me. Inside me. I asked him to repeat it. Slowly. Like maybe my brain had misfired. They moved in last week. Cars in your driveway. Kids in your yard. And they changed your locks. That's when anger started. Not explosive. Worse. Cold. Wrong. Like reality had been quietly edited. Without my permission. He told me it was the Westfield Meadow HOA. The same HOA that once fined a man for the shade of his mailbox. They'd declared my home unattended property. Claimed it was in the best interest of the community to use it for temporary housing. Sounds noble. Sounds clean. Until you hear the rest. They never called me. Never emailed. Never sent a letter. They just handed my keys to one of the HOA president's relatives. Funny how community service always circles back to the same people. I called the sheriff that same day. My hands were shaking while everyone else kept eating like my life hadn't just been stolen in broad daylight. The sheriff was calm. Too calm. You have to be here to file, he said. Come home when you can. Logical. Reasonable. And completely useless. So I buried it. Locked it away. Let discipline do what emotions couldn't. But at night, when everything went quiet, I pictured strangers swimming in my pool. Sitting on my porch, touching walls my father helped build. That anger didn't fade. It sharpened. Months later, when my deployment ended, I didn't come home to balloons or hugs. I came home with a plan. I called 3 friends. The kind who don't ask questions. The kind who just say, when. 2 days later, before sunrise, we drove toward my ranch. My boots hit the dirt driveway first. And my stomach dropped. Lights on. Curtains drawn. Smoke curling from the chimney. Toys scattered across my yard like my life was a playground. A hammock stretched between my pecan trees. Someone else was comfortable here. We didn't rush. We didn't yell. We stood there breathing, grounding ourselves. Then I walked up those steps that still creaked in the same place. And I knocked. A man opened the door wearing one of my old flannel shirts. That was the moment something inside me snapped quiet. I'm the owner, I said. His face shifted. Smug. Rehearsed. Oh, you're that guy. HOA told us about you. House was vacant. We signed a lease. I stepped past him. Not pushing. Just certain. This is my house. He tried to laugh. Tried to block me. Hey, you can't just walk in here. Maybe it was my tone. Maybe it was the 3 men behind me who'd seen worse than an angry tenant. Either way, he moved. Inside hurt more than outside. Furniture rearranged. Photos gone. My folded flag shoved aside like decoration. It felt like my home didn't recognize me anymore. He kept talking. Explaining. Justifying. We've got kids. HOA said it was community housing. Said you bailed. There it was. That phrase. Polished. Rehearsed. The neighborhood deserved better use of my life. You need to leave, I said. Not threatening. Just true. He crossed his arms. I've got a lease. I nodded once. Call the sheriff. He laughed. Already cleared with the HOA. The sheriff arrived fast. Gravel crunching like punctuation. Sheriff Reeves Daniels stepped out. Already tired like this wasn't his first mess involving the HOA. He flipped through the lease once. Then again. His eyebrows climbed. This isn't valid, he said. Mark's confidence collapsed in real time. What do you mean it's not valid? It's signed by the board. I know, Reeves said. And that's the problem. Forgery. Fraud. Misuse of authority. The words landed heavy. You're not a criminal, Reeves told him. But you are trespassing. You need to pack. Now. The bravado drained out of Mark's face. His kids peeked from behind the hallway. Confused. Embarrassed. Human. You were lied to, I said. But staying makes it worse. They packed fast. Quiet. Ashamed. As the last box left my doorway, Reeves walked the property with me. I told him everything. The call. The months overseas. The silence. She's been pushing it, he said. Karen and her board. Fake programs. Real money. Hearing that wasn't victory. It was confirmation. My buddies helped clear the house like muscle memory. One of them found my flag shoved on a shelf and handed it to me without a word. Later, Reeves leaned on the porch railing. You want to press charges? I didn't hesitate. Against the HOA. He nodded. Already started. What followed cracked the town wide open. Whispers turned into complaints. Complaints into statements. Turns out my house wasn't the first. Records showed forged signatures. Fake emergencies. Money flowing neatly back to the same names. The day the warrants came, the neighborhood watched. Karen stepped out confident, like always. Until the cuffs came out. Intentions didn't matter. Judges don't care about speeches. Westfield Meadow HOA collapsed in under a month. Justice wasn't loud. It was quiet. The sound of my lock turning. My floor creaking under my feet again. My flag back where it belonged. We rebuilt slowly. Cameras. Gates. Not fear. Respect. One evening, as the Texas sky melted orange, Reeves stopped by. You good now? I breathed. Yeah. Feels like home. He smiled. Guess they didn't know who they were dealing with. No, I said. But they do now. The silence felt earned. But here's what lingers. How easy it was for paperwork and confidence to steal a life. How close it came to being permanent. Makes you wonder how often it happens. Who doesn't get their home back? So I ask you. Were the tenants victims or part of the problem? Where's the line between community and control? And how far would you go to take your home back? Drop your thoughts below. Because silence is how this survives. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.